My dad's a mechanic, my grandfather's a carpenter. I just grew up using my hands.
Creating things. That's what Ed Shank loves to do.
Sculpting to me is a release of all frustrations.
This hobby for some is more than that to Ed.
Oh, yeah.
While some make their living using computers or big machinery, Shank brings, in this case, Kentucky red ball clay to life.
I'm able to be creative and do things without any rules. I can make whatever I want to make, and whatever's in my mind is, my only limitation.
But for the past year and a half, Ed Shank's been confronted with a different limitation.
It'll take a while to bring this back to life.
He hasn't been to work at what he considers his day job. Without warning, he had to quit.
That just changed my world, like everybody else's world, but kind of on a very military, personal level.
Since September 11th, Shank's been busy, serving with the 193rd Special Operations Wing of the Air National Guard. There's no place he'd rather be, except maybe finishing what he'd started when his country came calling.
It's been over a year since I've actually taken a look at this.
For 6 years, Shank planned. For 8 months, he sculpted it. An angel, and in her arms, the body of a fallen soldier.
Shank's idea of what the sculpture would look like actually came to him in a dream, but the whole plan was hatched right here at the National Cemetery at Fort Indiantown Gap. Here, Shank was a member of the Honor Guard, where he helped bury, as he puts it, too many fine American men and women.
When you're doing that, you stand across from the people that are grieving for a lost loved one, and in my mind, I'm thinking, what could I do as an artist or as a human being to be able to add some kind of comfort?
The sculpture is 9 feet tall. The wings alone, 6 feet. It's towering, moving. This work was special, but even Shank didn't know how special when he first started it. Then, the world fell apart.
All of a sudden, people were dying in a war in Afghanistan, and then later on in Iraq, and it went from a piece honoring those who went before us to something honoring people that I work with. September 11th is the reason this sculpture was destroyed.
That's right. It will never grace a cemetery or comfort a grieving family.
It went from 3,200 pounds of clay to 3,200 pounds of dirt. This sculpture is in the worst condition that it could possibly be. It's gonna take a lot of work.
It was maybe a month or two from being done, but it went too long without attention. The air got to it.
What I'm feeling right now is not so much sadness for the piece that's destroyed. It's just looking ahead to what it's going to take to rebuild it. Man, this guy needs some serious reconstructive surgery here.
Shank's already starting over with this much smaller version. Call it the rough draft.
I haven't done this in so long that I kind of forgot how good this feels.
He'll sculpt some things differently this time around.
You should see this from the angle I'm seeing it from.
Some things won't change. What it means and what it's made of. The sculpture can't be salvaged, but the clay can be. It'll be rehydrated and used again on the new angel and soldier. Call it symbolic, metaphoric, whatever you want. There's a reason it turned out this way.
On some strange level, to me, that is kind of like I'm telling the rest of the world that, we weren't broken or destroyed. Yeah, that happened. And we're going to take what we had and rebuild it, and it'll be better the next time around.